You see prompts everywhere, and it's just going to increase. There are so many businesses right now that are built on top of AI, and when you look at the fine grain of the business outcome, you see that they are using a prompt as their golden path in order to provide a business outcome and provide a value to customers. You probably have seen so many prompt engineering techniques, but in this video, I specifically want to focus on how to prompt when you want to write a business outcome. So we want to talk about some CEO approved type of the prompting and the mindsets that you need to consider. I have provided the detail of this golden path in my website abbaspro.com. That's where I usually talk about AI and machine learning and share my thoughts on the new AI applications. If you want to get regular updates of these posts that I share, make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. I put the link in the description of the video. Let's dive in. Welcome everyone to your channel, AI Fun Fact for All. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Pedram. I have a PhD in computer science, and in this channel we talk about AI and machine learning and how we can use it in order to improve our efficiency. As we mentioned, there are different approaches on how to do prompt engineering and the best practices to talk to an LLM. That's a topic that we already also covered in the video. I put the link to the videos if you want at the end, so make sure to watch until the end. But what is important in this one is that we want to talk about how we can basically consider the best practices that are required to driving the businesses. So let's take a look at this. There are 6 different steps that we want to specifically talk about. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm just going to give you a high level. You can definitely go and read it yourself so you get more information. The first one is the fundamental mindset. We want to talk about how is it different to talk from an operator to a manager. Then we talk about the blueprint of success, the advanced prompt architectures, and then we talk about dynamic intelligence, so the power of metaprompting, and then the safeguards, which is basically the necessity of escape hatches, which is also important, not just from safety regulation, but also in terms of providing a confidence on the output. And then the real KPI, or the critical role of evaluation, and finally the human in the loop, or the forward deployed engineer. The first guideline is the foundation mindset. It is important that you don't think of an LLM in a way that you're an operator and you want it to a task to be done. You're gonna take a look at it from a manager and employee perspective, where you want to get the highest ROI and you want to get and define some set of tasks and the way that you want to achieve and then get the best results. So it's very important, if you have this mindset that you are the manager, you need to define the set of requirements that you want to achieve and the set of skills and the acceptance criteria and so on. And then the more clear you are in defining your requirements, the better the performance and the results you can get from the LLM. Moving on to the second one is basically the architecture of the prompt. So it is actually already well known, but it's good to reiterate that we have 3 different levels of prompt. The first is the system prompt. So the system prompt is the high level role and goal of the basically the AI applications, that you just talk about what is the guideline, or what is the high level role of that AI application. You talk about the constraints, the core functionality, and so on. Then on the second level you have the developer prompt. This is basically you provide some context related to the particular task or the particular customers. So it is important that it has the customer history, the unique requirement for that specific task cases. And then Finally, the user prompt. The user prompt is something that includes some history or some information from the user itself. So it is very important that this is the most prone to injection. So make sure that you use the guidelines in order to have it inside some tags, and that make sure that the prompt injection doesn't have it. We'll talk about that later as well. So basically, if you have this structure format, you can reuse it on the different applications. So basically, your system prompt probably are gonna remain the same. Your developer prompt is gonna be constant on your different verticals, and the user prompt is on each step or on each interaction is gonna be dynamically. And having this structured format help you to scale up your solutions. In number 3, we have an important concept, the metaprompting. The very best way that you can improve a prompt is by asking the AI itself to describe and improve itself. So the self-improvement is a very important skill that the AI application have, and they kind of have more knowledge of why they make such a decision and how they can improve it, so that later on it doesn't create that problem. There are so many kind of applications that create automatic prompt optimization, that those kind of approaches will try to look at the fail cases and try to augment it to basically the critic, or basically the same LLM that generated the result, and you're gonna ask, why did you generate the response, and then update your response such that it doesn't make this error again, instead of just looking at it from your perspective and doing prompt engineering from your side. This cycle effect will create an amazing improvements over time that will try to integrate the output and try to give feedback to itself and get better and better. On number 4, we have a guideline that sometimes is underestimated because people think that it is just for safety, but it's actually also important in terms of your confidence on the output. So when you have escape hatches, the idea is that you want to create a possibility for the LLM to let you know that the information that is providing right now, it is not 100% certain about it. So basically, you want to somehow know that if the provided information or the context is not enough, it is not just hallucinating or just generating or just assuming or inferring some information. This critical consideration can help you understand and compare the results that are grounded or the LLM are very sure about, or the ones that it is just unsure, and since you just want it to generate something, it will follow the same path, and then instead of getting the result from the for example context, you try to infer something. So this very important self-awareness is another important consideration of the LLM, that the LLM can actually let you know that how confident they are. There are so many different ways that you can provide these escape hatches. You can provide it in a very structured format, or just ask it to simply rank its certainty about the output. This will create this trust and reliability on the responses that you get, and also provide you a little bit more transparency on the output that you will get. On number 5, we have the real KPI of AI businesses, which is their evaluation. So it is very important that you just don't look at the true or false or the F1 score or some very simple classification metrics. It is important that you look at fine-grained result and take a look at very detail of why something goes wrong and why something is working well. So it is important that you consider some adversarial examples, you look at some other metrics like like the relevance, helpfulness, and adherence, grounding the result, and so on. So it is very important that you have a comprehensive measurement of the LLM that you are working on. And the engine of improvement, you can actually use it for screening or failing cases, and you can create like a dashboard or something that recursively lets you know that are you getting the good result or not, or where you are failing or shorting. And at number 6, we have human in the loop architecture. So as of right now, what we have discussed was that let's try to keep the loop into the LLM itself, and then let's just generate on top. But basically, the great idea and the great power should come when you have human in the loop as well. So you want to have a forward deployed engineer. That's basically the concept that some of the engineers that are working directly with the end customers, you want to make sure that the feedback from the customers are actually considered and integrated into your optimization. Because if you are too much focused on the internal metrics, then the customer behavior or the customer impact are going to be impaired. So it is very important that you consider some feedback directly from the humans and try to somehow integrate them into your optimization. And there you have it, guys. We went over 6 different important steps on how to write a prompt and consider a prompt from a perspective of a CEO that you want to drive the business outcome. So these results are not necessarily confounded to the business. If you are an individual or trying to build a project yourself or entrepreneur, this is also definitely applicable to you. It is important that you consider these guidelines and best practices and the advanced prompting to make the best out of the LLMs. I believe this is the future. This is gonna be something that we're gonna have for the rest of our life, and definitely something that makes sense that you focus on and you try to put your energy and knowledge towards. Let me know in the comment what you guys think about this statement, and how do you think the future is gonna look like with AI. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video, or more importantly, subscribe to the channel. If you want to see more videos like this, you can watch this video that I talk about the different evaluating methods for the large language models, or you can watch this video that I talk about vibe coding, or how you can use LLM to actually write code for you. Thanks for watching, and see you until the next one.